Hi, everybody. It's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and we're all here for PoliTarology.
Yay.
Okay, so we'll try to muddle through without Gerald, and somebody's going to have to help me looking at the chat because I'm just very bad at it. But I did go through and try to star some of the questions that are already there. But before we get into questions, let me introduce my beautiful guests. So I have Arthur from Arthur Ease Your Mind. I have Cleo the Seer. I have Val from Dragonfly Crystals and Next Level Channeling. And I'm taking a class with her tomorrow. Hopefully she'll teach me how to speak. Okay. And so we're going to go round robin and everybody can say a little bit about their channel and what's going on with it. And yeah, like that. So Arthur, why don't you kick us off and tell us what's going on your channel?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Cleo, let's move on.
No, I'm doing a solo show, hopefully on Monday, and I'm actually reading for some of the contest winners this week.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be fun. And that's really about it. And I did the guided meditation of Unleash Your Creativity.
Nice.
And there was a glitch, so I have to go back to the studio and re-record it. So I think the remastered version of Winter Solstice is going to get out first. So,
okay. Sounds
that's
good.
what I'm doing. Yeah.
Sounds good. Are you scheduled to be anywhere with any other people?
I am doing, I think the 18th, I'm with Deanne.
Nice. Oh, that's very nice.
And then something in January with Susan Lynn.
Very nice. Really good. Really good. Well, we'll have to have you back in January too. I haven't done all that scheduling yet. So you'll be getting an email from me.
I have no life. I haven't nobody asking me. So,
and before we go on to Cleo and Val, everybody, my studio is being redesigned by my daughter and her friend who also did my lovely living room, which I absolutely love.
I love that. Yeah. They have good taste.
Oh, they are awesome. Mm-hmm. And it was approved by my friend here. So
yes.
Horatio.
Yes, Horatio approved. And here's my Christmas tree, which is also put up by my daughter because I have no energy for that stuff. But anyway, that's why the background for me is so different. And hopefully by next Friday, I'll be able to reveal the new beautiful studio. So there we go. All right. So Cleo, tell us what's going on for your channel.
Well, for right now, I am streaming this broadcast or this show on my channel. The very first video to my channel. If it all works out, I don't even know how to check it, but Colleen thought that it was coming through. Now, besides that, I've got about every 2 to 3 days till the end of the month, I have PoliTarology over and over and over again.
What's that?
Sorry.
So then on Sunday, we got PoliTarology today. On Sunday, we got PoliTarology with Sybil. And I'm just kidding. We don't continually have it. But then on Tuesday, we do have a special little PoliTarology that Colleen wants to do that has, if she's going to do the astrological charts for a bunch of different politicians. And so that should be cool. Actually, I just kind of shut up through that show. It's really the Colleen PoliTarology show. And on the 15th, I have another PoliTarology, which is a week from now. But in between time, then I've also got on Thursday, the 14th, I've got the Golden Girls. And then the 18th, I have Mystic 4. And there's some other stuff going on, but that's good enough. And that's what I'm doing. So
that's a lot.
You guys,
Cleo, we are so proud of you finally doing it.
I am so excited.
That
is go watch this show.
I miss Gerald right now. I wish we could do one of those big explosion confetti things because that's what we need. I got to figure out how to do
probably no one is going to watch it on my channel, but that's fine.
I am going to go watch
it
after this on your channel.
I'm at 201 subscribers, so
yeah. Yeah, we're all gonna go watch
I'm a
it. Are you
subscriber
kidding?
from both my channels.
Hmm.
There you go. Oh, there you go. There you
And
go.
don't forget, I got 4,000 fake accounts. That's how I got
Oh,
4,000
yeah.
subscribers. So switch account.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, okay, Val, tell us what's going on for you.
Well, Sunday, there's another free Akashic Record readers show.
Oh, okay.
So
Ooh.
please tune in for that at 4 Pacific time, 7 Eastern time. And that's that. And on Tuesday, there's another one with another group. You'll have to look at that one. But I also have Deanne on Friday, Shield Maiden, and Story in the Cards. As Cleo pointed out, Golden Girls and Mystic 4 are coming up. You can always go to the community page or look at my lives that I have upcoming on my channel.
Mhm.
So that's
Val, I watched you one of the shows you did already with Deanne Shield Maiden, and I gotta say, I really like your energy, the two of you together. I really liked the energy. I just thought it really flowed. I thought you guys played off each other really, really well, and it was nice. It was a good energy there.
Thank you. Yeah, she introduced me to Tanya, who's here in Las Vegas, who
Wow.
Tea with Tanya, who will be on next week. So
Cool.
look for that. Yeah, that's great.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, I love Deanne. Her energy is so sweet. She's a great reader too. Really
She
fun
is.
to read with.
We just burned down the house. That's all we do.
Do you remember that video that he did when in the background she's burning?
Yeah,
burning up her dresser.
And Arthur, yeah, I love reading with Arthur too. He is phenomenal. And I got to have him back on my
I'll pay
channel.
you later for saying that.
Okay.
We only invited him out of pity. That's
Well, because you saw me on Rodeo Drive with that sandwich board. It says, "I will read for food."
that's it. That's it. Yeah. I'm FedExing a roasted turkey, so you can
Thank you.
hang out for a while. It was a good reading. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we are, everybody, and we're gonna make it through this without Gerald. I promise. We are going to do it. It's gonna be great.
I'm not a substitute. I'm just who I am.
I don't think anyone can substitute for Gerald.
He's a force to
He's
be
kind.
reckoned with. That's for
Yes.
sure.
Yes, he is a force of nature, I think.
Yes, he is a
So,
force.
as usual, I'm going to refer to my little list of questions that I pull off of the headlines from the New York Times. So I'm going to switch over to that really quick, and I'm going to give us our first question. And wait, before I do that, let's see. I just want to take another quick look to see if I missed a question from anybody in here, because I did star. Oh, only one. Okay. I don't know about that, but I'll put it out there anyway. And
Could I bring up something that maybe all the questions might end up with that anyway, and just get it out of the way so it's out of my mind, because otherwise
Yeah.
I'm having trouble
Yeah.
concentrating on other stuff.
please do it. Yeah.
This is what came to me last week, and I've been arguing with my guides all week about could this really be, and they told me that Donald Trump is not going to be on the ballot.
Oh,
And they
agree
told
with
me
that.
that Nikki Haley is going to be on the ballot.
that could happen.
That could very well be.
But the Iowa caucus, that Trump will probably win that. But that's when everything kind of falls apart, because Nikki Haley has a bunch of very wealthy Republicans that are,
The remaining Koch brothers specifically.
well, and they're getting concerned that if they don't do something now and they wait too long and then Trump gets convicted, they think that if he gets convicted of anything, a lot of people are going to just say, oh, okay, well, no, never mind. He can't be president. Republicans are going to think that, which is surprising to me. But when I started thinking of the ramifications that this could actually, if this actually happened, then everything that Colleen and Susan Lynn have been talking, well, other people too, about talking about that Trump's going to be in a nut ward or something, this is the thing that would push him over the edge.
Yeah.
I haven't really ever seen that before until this came up, and I thought, yeah, that would do it. He will go absolutely bonkers if he is not on the ballot. And there's probably some other stuff that I can't remember right this minute. But anyway, that was the main gist of it. I wanted to bring it up, and I wanted to see if anybody could read on that and see if there's any truth to it.
Yeah, we can certainly read on it. And
I'm going to cut in right now. The last show I did was all about Nikki Haley.
Mm.
I felt that Trump would get Iowa, then she gets New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And then right after that is her own home state. Now, if she doesn't win her home state, then it's dead for her, but I feel she will.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this is like Nikki Haley stepping on and crunching on Trump.
Yeah.
She's so
Remember her comment about the 5-inch heels, where somebody said, well, nobody's going to elect or listen to you and your 4-inch heels. And she said, oh, excuse me, they're 5-inch heels. And yes, they are.
And then she looked at Ron DeSantis and winked.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
So somebody asked me, about Ron DeSantis and his lifts. I said, I'm in Hollywood. Everybody wears lifts. Are you kidding?
Yeah, right.
They do, I'm sure.
Well, and I do think, while we're kind of shuffling and muddling here, we should also, everyone should go over to the GoFundMe page for Donald Trump, because we're trying to raise enough money to buy him bunny slippers with the presidential seal on them, as well as a little smoking jacket saying,
well, actually,
I
was putting up the pattern for a jumpsuit that has a hoodie, because he's not going to they're not going to allow him to have a case in the Aquanet.
He's going to have to put the hoodie on to cover that hair situation. Mm-hmm. Good thinking, Arthur.
And maybe little buttons in the back for the flap, like a onesie.
But we could just send him some yellow Play-Doh, and he could just make a helmet for his head that he just puts on every day. I think he'd be okay with that.
He'd make a
Well,
shit out of
and the other thing is if he's not on the ballot, that changes everything about these court cases. Because the court cases, he's like, I'm running for president, so you can't do this. Well, then if it gets pulled out from underneath him, he'll just be looking around like, oh shit.
But did you hear about the appellate court today?
No. What?
Which thing?
They agreed with the gag order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In DC. However, there's only one thing they said, that he could still talk about Jack Smith, but no family members, no nothing. And he's going bonkers on that right now too.
Oh yeah. His fuse is very, very short now. I mean, he's gonna explode any moment.
Yeah.
But you do know why he's so confident that he's going to win everything. And plus, he said in one article the other day that he was going to get 150 million votes. That basically means everybody that's voting for president voted for Trump.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's very delusional.
He's very delusional. But also, every time he says that thing about why he shouldn't be in trial because he's running for president, the judges disagree with him. The appellate judges disagree with him. They all say, no, you're just a citizen who happens to have another hobby.
You're not king.
Even the judges that he appointed.
Yep.
Except Cannon, the loose cannon, but whatever.
Okay. So Val, did you pull cards?
Yeah, I actually did. This is really, she's finding her way through. This is Haley in terms of Trump, trying to Trump. So here she is going through the maze. She's working on her craft. She's got a whole bunch of people on her side that are, and justice kind of on her side to kind of take him out of the picture. So here she is in her mind. She's really given a big stomp on his head. But here is the 10 of Cups. Happy family, the group of GOP. I don't know if this in reality will happen, but notice the full moon and all the cups. This is her in her little made up mind, probably with all her backers. So
Yeah. Well,
That could happen. It's a
Yeah.
possibility.
yeah. I have something to say about this whole thing once I tell you about my cards. All right. So the Emperor, Mr. Orangina, he's, this is him. But then I get the Lovers, and I think this is just for Nikki Haley getting her cooperation and getting the backers that she needed to get the boost up. So the boost that she's getting from the Koch brothers and all of their other bedfellows is just like super jet fuel to her campaign, because it's showing the world that somebody with big bucks really thinks she can do it. And I'm telling you, she's buying up a bunch of 5-inch heel Louboutins right now because she wants to wear them in the White House.
I
Yeah,
mean, you
she's
can
ready.
bet on it.
The
Yep.
6 of Cups in the past, things from the past. This is poor dumpy Trumpy, just living in the past and thinking, because he is in the past. I mean, and he's not only in his own past, but he's going into the past of some other parallel life where he ran against Bush and Obama and everybody else. It's like he's really in the past delusion, like he's really in delusions. And we have Jack Smith, who's representing all the prosecutors who are going to, send him to whatever, that wacky rubber room. And ultimately, he has to walk away. The 8 of Cups is a card of walking away from something that means a lot to you, because it's cups, it's emotions. And so I think that Trump will not willingly walk away, but his body's going to betray him. His delusions are going to just overcome him. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who finally cracks under that psychotic delusion, but it is real. It's sudden.
It's scary.
It's scary. It's dramatic, but the truth just comes pouring out. It's like a gumball machine where all the gumballs just come sliding out. It's just like, God, they just, they're crying, they're laughing, they're yelling, but all the truth that's coming out from their mouth is like, okay, you really were in the world, but you were just covering it up with this delusional gloss the last 5 years or whatever. So I think it's going to be really hard for him, but I think Nikki Haley is going to be the beneficiary of that. Too bad she'll lose. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add.
Yeah, too bad she'll lose. But okay, I forgot what I was going to tell you guys after, so I'll have to come back.
The other thing is the reason Trump is so confident is because he has been controlling. First of all, he invented the fake news. He invented a lot of stuff, and then he's put his money in behind, sneaky like, to make sure that we get the worst of Joe Biden. We get the so-called best of Trump. And then he keeps spewing these lies, and he has a bunch of people that, who knows, if a lot of them probably don't even realize they're being manipulated this way. But, it's his money is backing up the lies. And so that's why you see so much crap on the internet that talks about that Biden is just like the worst president we've ever had. Everything he says about Biden, he should be talking about himself.
He's projecting.
Yeah. It should be, it's really, he keeps, people are seeing that now. I mean, there was a group on like Meet the Press or something where they were saying exactly that Trump is saying all these things that apply to him, not to Biden.
That's the trait of a narcissist.
Yeah.
Well, he's now saying that he stands for democracy and crooked Joe Biden does not.
Yeah.
That's his new ploy.
Wow.
What the other person has, destroy it and say it's yours.
Yeah, that there's so many ways that he tells on himself, and you would think if he was such a consummate liar that he would know how to cover things up just a little bit. But that's what tells you that the delusion, the psychosis, is about to crack, because he cannot control any of it. He can't control himself at all.
However, Colleen, there is a large group of people. I'm not sure if it's millions or what, but the mega people that believe everything he says.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
So,
I know.
I mean, that is what's worse than him saying it is the fact that all these people are blindly following him and going, yep, it's all crooked. The DOJ is against him. It's all,
He's the victim.
They stole the election from him and they still believe it. They still believe that thing about the 2020 election.
But I do think that group is shrinking. I think that
Oh,
there's
yeah, it probably is, but there's still a big group of people.
yeah,
that
yeah,
believe-
there is a big group. But what are they going to do when well, we should read on this. What are they going to do when he does get indicted? Are they still going to vote for him?
Some will.
Yeah, some will.
Don't forget, during the election, during the very first debate, all the candidates were asked, if Trump is indicted, would you still vote for him if he was on the ticket? And everyone but Chris Christie raised their hand.
Yeah, but then they did a poll on that, and the poll, a lot of people said, "Oh no, if he's indicted, I'm not."
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that, but they keep on putting that out there. It's like
Yeah,
this
they
PR
do.
campaign.
And it does show too, if those almost candidates would vote for him, then how many more MAGAs would vote for him that are in like Congress and things like that? I mean, they're still they're cuckoo.
Well, MPG is trying to be vice president. You know that.
I thought she already was. Oh shit, that's Kamala. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
that's in her head.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. What was I going to say? I don't know. Let's just move on.
Well, it
Okay.
does look like he's going to win the Iowa caucus. It does look like that's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
But that's the only
there's a
one.
bunch of people in Iowa that think he's great.
And I know I don't think do I have access to my little spreadsheet? Oh yes, I do. Okay. The Iowa caucus, does anybody know off the top of their heads when it happens? Because I'll pull up my spreadsheet.
It's just a few weeks away, like four
Yeah,
or
it's
6
first,
weeks
right?
away.
Yeah.
I have it in my little spreadsheet, which I have just updated.
We have a political spreadsheet
Yes, I do. I have a political spreadsheet.
peppered with the lies and the inconsistencies.
Oh, it's January 15th is
Yeah.
the Iowa caucus.
It's
Okay.
like
So Trump will probably win that. He'll probably hold out. That gives him a little over a month. So like 5-6 weeks that he has to hold his crap together in his head. And then the actual Republican convention isn't until July. So it's 6 months from between the Iowa caucus and the Republican convention. So
a lot can happen.
In between time isn't all the other caucuses?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got Iowa, New Hampshire in February, South Carolina in February, and we said that Nikki Haley would probably grab that one. The Michigan primaries February, then Super Tuesday is in March 5th. Also, he has a few trials in between there, and
March 4th.
Yes, he does. Yes, that's right. And then the convention on July 15th through the 18th. So yeah, that's the lineup for Trump.
Well, and so if
Maybe on Bastille Day?
Yeah. Well, the day after.
So if he really doesn't get the nomination, he will blame all these court cases and the illegalities there, and he's going to appeal it and take it to court and sue everybody. And it's just you think it's crazy now? Just wait. If this goes down to where it's Nikki Haley winning it and not him, plus the fact that a woman might get it over him would just about kill him right there on the spot. It'll be interesting.
What I keep on picking up is, remember when Joe Biden in the very beginning was not getting much traction?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it was just boom.
Mm-hmm.
Every state was his.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
Well, I get Trump, here's his puppet show that he's doing for his followers before the Iowa. But there's a lot of things he has to fix. I mean, people see a lot of things they have to fix inside his projection. But here he is standing up in front of his people. I don't know if you can see it.
It looks like him.
Yes. But the final card is, they can't fix what's wrong with him, if you get my drift. And as you were saying, could be a psychotic break for entertainment purposes only, or something where he's not connected to reality for real. He can't hide it. So
Yeah.
Are we talking about lobotomies and EMS? Oh, wait a minute. You have to have a brain to have a lobotomy. Sorry. Sorry, Scarecrow.
And I
Technicality.
think he only uses plastic utensils unless he's at home. So he always likes fast food. So
Because that way he thinks it's not poisoned.
that's right.
It's
Yeah.
random.
Right.
Well, he has to use plastic because he throws plates at walls. So
Yeah.
he doesn't
right.
want,
That's
Come
right.
on,
Don't
have
want
a
things to
cheeseburger.
break.
It's for your heart. Come on, come on.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. So I think we made some progress with that. Shall we talk about just briefly what's going to happen to poor widow Kevin? Kevin's weaving the Congress.
He's weaving.
He's weaving. He's weaving to
Mhm.
Congress. So why is he weaving to Congress?
He didn't get his way. He's taking his ball and going
Oh,
home.
Oh, I would too. I would be mad if I was
He's
Kevin.
taking
I mean, he was like
his
elbowing people. Get out of my way. Come on.
Yeah,
He wants to
yeah.
get
I
out.
hope I heard that.
I'm
time.
done playing with you guys.
Yeah,
I'm taking my toys out of the sandbox.
yeah. No way. No way. No way. No way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't like the way they treated him. I'd be leaving too, or I'd be
Yeah.
staying around to despite everybody. But
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think he's leaving because he's really on the pity pot or anything. I think he just is. He's kind of fed up, and
Yeah.
he's
He's
been
leaving because
trying
he's
to do
embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. They showed a clip on, I don't know what I was watching, but they showed a clip that when Kevin Ryan and Kevin McCarthy, Paul Ryan, Kevin McCarthy, and I can't remember the third guy, when they came into Congress, they did a little news thing about them. They were the young guns and they were going to change the Republican Party for the better. And one by one, they just dropped out. Kevin was the last one. So, I think he's
my
got to be
favorite
embarrassed.
Agatha Christie book, and then there were none.
And then there were
Yeah,
none.
I think I agree with Cleo. I think he's kind of getting out of Dodge because he's a little afraid of everything. He doesn't want to be close to the action of people getting taken down.
Yeah.
Not that that's going to help him. But this card again, that's him getting squashed. He is sick of that. He's getting his high priestess moment where he's going to take charge of his life. But, really, this is what doesn't want to hear or see what's going on. This is happening to him while he's there. He's getting crap from people, pardon my language, and he doesn't want to listen to any of that stuff. And he's not the most popular person in Congress. So
Do you think
Yeah,
he's
he's
going to run
trying
to
to do it.
Mar-a-Lago? Do you think he's going to go to Mar-a-Lago and try to
No.
get something with
I
Trump?
don't at all, and I'll tell you why. Because he
I'm
has
not
already
saying.
talked behind Trump's back to the feds for entertainment purposes only. He is persona non grata at Mar-a-Lago, so there won't be any dancing together.
Okay.
I just pulled 3 cards just for the heck of it, and the first one I got was this money.
Mm.
And
Oh, he's going to join the cannabis lobby.
then new people around him, and he thinks he's hot crap.
Oh,
The cannabis lobby is hot crap. So.
No, but
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I'm in Los Angeles. It's okay. But no, seriously, I was just getting a hit that there's an offer on the table for him, or
Yeah.
under the table for him.
yeah, there probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that too.
They might have said, adios and we'll give you this. Disappear. Here's some money.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
No. Okay. All right. Cleo, do you have anything to add before I go?
Well, about him, I just think that he put in his mind 100% of everything he thought he should be doing.
Yeah.
He's tired of fighting and arguing, and he sees that that's just going to continue. That they can't. That house cannot seem to do anything without turning it into a fight and totally moving away from the actual work that they're supposed to be doing. So I think he's just tired of it.
Yeah.
It's like a bucket full of crabs.
Yeah. So I don't think that he had a deal before he decided to leave. I think it was his idea to leave. I think he's super embarrassed. I think he just hates that it's no fun anymore. he's not having fun. He had fun. And especially when Paul Ryan was still there, they were touted as these brilliant people. And clearly he has no talent for anything. He's just
Messing up.
he just can't do anything.
Clearly.
I don't think since the whole time he's been there, I don't think he's authored a single bit of legislation. So, I mean, he's just not a talented politician at all. I think he decided that he had to leave. Then he came up with, okay, what am I going to do when I leave? Because it's just going to look bad if I leave and I just go cry on the beach for 40 days and 40 nights, So I think then he sought out people with money to, what can I do? Can I do something for you? I have influence in Washington, even though he has no influence in Washington.
Yeah.
And I think he finally found some people who would back him.
Mhm.
So that's what I have to say about Kevin McCarthy. But I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. The majority is going to flip before the November election from Republican to Democrat. And I think I said this so long ago, and people were just like, okay. No, it's happening.
No,
Look
good.
at all the people who are leaving. Look at all the
I
people who are
agree.
leaving.
You
Right?
have something there.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I've been predicting that Hakeem Jeffries is Speaker of the House
Gonna be a
before
speaker before the
before
election, right?
the election.
I said that too.
I get
and
Mike
months
Johnson
ago.
going by May. There's
Yeah.
a placeholder,
Mhm.
and then Hakeem Jeffries comes in.
Well, okay. So we were talking about this when the fight for Kevin McCarthy as speaker was coming on. I remember I was saying that then. And
Yeah.
that is like, are you kidding? I mean, I'm not the only person who said it, but I just want to say I clearly put the line
Yeah.
in the sand there.
Yeah,
And I think that is also something that Susan Lynn was talking about, is that as the tide turns, the Republicans that are left get scared and they realize they have to play with the Democrats. Even the ones that there's already a big bunch of them that are playing with the Democrats, but a whole bunch more that are like borderline MAGA. They all of a sudden are going, holy crap, I'm not only going to lose my seat if I don't do this, but I may have people burning torches on my lawn. I mean, like, I may be in trouble. I may be like risking my life by going the way I've been going.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to shift. And
Yeah.
that's when you're going to see Mikey's out, Hakeem's in. I don't know what the timing though is, but it's soon, because think of how the power is going to change. You lost Santos. Now you lost McCarthy. There's like two other guys that said, I gotta go, and they're out. So that's your 4 seats
Yeah.
right there. And so that's imminent. None of those people are saying, oh, I'm just not running anymore. That's a whole other kettle of fish. All those people that are not running anymore who are Republican. But I do think I think the count would be, I think the final count of the defections is going to be like 6.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be so many seats, and almost all of them, I think, are going to go Democratic. Almost all of them. I don't know that Kevin McCarthy's seat will go Democratic. I think he lives in a pretty Republican area, if I'm not mistaken.
I was asked if they bring Nunez back in, and I don't feel that.
Oh God, no.
If they bring what?
Nunez?
Oh,
No.
God. Yeah.
No.
No, he's toast. He's El Tosto.
He is toast.
He is toast.
Like George Santos.
But like there you go. I wouldn't be surprised if some senators left too. I just wouldn't be surprised. Like how great is life right now for Ted Cruz? Like, is he living his best life in Congress, in the Senate?
I've often felt that the guy running against him is really bringing in numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that Ted Cruz has is dirty money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ted Cruz is I'm telling you, all of these people are going to see the writing on the wall, and come the new year, there's going to be indictments coming down.
Well, that's the other thing. I've been saying indictments are coming down after the first quarter. All the unnamed unnamed co-conspirators.
Yeah.
And other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GOP. Oh, who do you think will be the next? This is good. I'm going to put this up. So, who do you think is the next GOP rep to go out? Only 2-person lead in the House. Well, I don't know. There's too many of them. I don't know enough of them. There's like hundreds of them, isn't there? They're like cockroaches.
Mhm.
I think they're just
Yeah.
everywhere. They're, it's, it's
Turn
too
on the
hard.
light, they go into the stove.
Yeah, it's too hard to know all their names, but there definitely will be a couple more.
Yeah.
A couple more. And I think there's going to be a couple of senators too. Look, Menendez at some point is going to be caught up
Oh,
with the law.
he's toast.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to have to leave, but he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
Manchin did Manchin quit, or is he just not running again? I
He
don't know.
says he's not running again,
But
right?
but if they asked him to be president, he would run.
There you go. But isn't he like off doing like a cross country tour or something? He's not even present in the Senate, I think.
I
Right?
can't even say what his whereabouts are, but I can say that's what the rhetoric is. He's not even going to run again. So
No, he said
Yeah.
I don't know if that is really going to be a fact. But
Yeah. And I do think that, okay, so Manchin gone, and that might be a Republican, but what was the other one I just said? Who was leaving? Oh God, I have squirrel brain tonight. I can't keep a thought in my head.
it's TRS. Can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Cruz. I have this strong feeling
Yeah,
that Cruz is going to have to leave, or he's going to want to
Cruz.
leave.
While you were talking about Cruz, this is my these are my cards. Blood, broken heart, and
Yeah.
still.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
that's the
telling you.
energy. That's the energy we're talking about when you're talking about Cruz and
Yeah. Some of these people that are J6 adjacent are going to suddenly remember that, they have, an island they have to go fortify or
Oh,
something.
I just got to go for a short week or so over here.
And they'll never come back. They'll never come back.
We're going to go to that island Jeffrey Epstein had, or whatever.
Yeah.
his name was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He left
Like
me a
that.
key, so I have to check on his cats. I mean, there's going to be some weird excuses, and
I gotta
people are
feed
just
my
going to
cat
start
on the river.
disappearing. They're just going to start disappearing. And it's just, that's what I get. That's
What
what I
about
get.
Mitch McConnell?
Well, Mitch McConnell, honey, Mitch McConnell is just going to not get up from his seat one night, and they'll come back in the morning and declare, time of death.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to him.
Pretty much.
He's not. He's. He doesn't
I would
know
love
it.
to put a turtle crossing sign in front of his house.
They probably already have. Do you know that apparently his office is routinely just inundated with sacks and sacks of mail containing turtle this,
food.
turtle that, turtle souvenirs, turtle. Everybody. He's so sick of it. He's so over it. But he doesn't say anything about it. Oh, maybe that's a sign that he's dead. I don't know.
Hey, it's a sign of popularity, probably in his mind. He doesn't.
Well, no publicity is bad publicity.
Kentucky likes him. He needs some fan mail.
I think I'm going to have to do a large bingo card with all the senators on there that I think might have to leave, and we'll just poke out their heads.
You should.
Oh, look, I got a turtle from Annie Wilkes.
Yeah, there we go. So anyway, I think yeah. Okay, so should we go on to another question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hunter Biden's tax court case in California. What the hell is this about? Why are they doing this?
His last name was Jones.
Exactly. But this isn't.
He already paid the taxes. He's already paid it.
Yeah,
Right?
he paid the taxes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Paying all his taxes.
This is so.
It's a waste of
shady.
our money.
It's a waste of Californians' money.
Yeah.
But it is so shady. What will this lead to? And will this throw mud back on the people who brought the case, the judges who accepted the case? Come on.
Well, don't forget, he had a plea deal. And they went to court, and the judge felt that the plea deal was too lenient.
No, she felt there was a million holes in it. She thought for him, yeah, but for him especially, he should not accept it. And she pointed out all the holes on it. And when she started doing that, then the prosecutors or the people charging him, going against him, they said, "Oh, okay, so just forget it."
Yeah, but the thing in Delaware, no one has really ever been charged with this.
No, it's a stupid thing to charge. Plus, like everybody said, like he was willing to admit to certain things just to go with the plea deal, and that's part of what the judge was saying. Why are you doing that? Why are you accepting that if that isn't true? And he's like, I just want this to go away. She's like, no, that's not good enough reason. So
Well,
and there's a big complaint about that he wants to have it open to the public. He wants everybody to see what's going on here because he knows they're going to try to screw him over. So
well,
he
and
wants
isn't
it all up front.
So isn't it interesting that a week or a couple days after he says that and they reject his offer, now in California there's a tax court case against him?
Yeah, something
Is that a
don't
coincidence?
forget, Comer had said on
it's a
television.
smoke screen they're trying to drum up a smoke screen just to make noise somewhere else.
But Comer had said they would listen to anybody, however they wanted to come in and talk to them. Mm-hmm. And so that's what they're saying is you basically said we can come in and talk to you, but we want it in open court.
Right.
Yeah.
And they want it behind closed doors.
Okay. Yeah. I just shuffling. The card that jumped out of the deck is the Eight of Wands. Things are going to change quickly on this thing.
Yeah.
This thing in California, I don't think it'll ever see the light of day. I think something's going to change very quickly here. That's why I brought up the question, because it just seems to me like it's highly unlikely that this is going to move forward in the way that they think it is. Right?
Exactly. Well, I don't even think they have real aspirations of it doing that, because I really think they're just trying to make trouble here, make trouble there,
look over here. Look, it's a Biden name getting indicted, just like Trump's getting indicted.
Biden name. If you just get it out there, it'll sound bad. Sound bad here, sound bad there.
Well, they're trying to connect anything that he may have done illegally to his father so that they can. They're still trying to impeach Biden. What in the world are they thinking about?
Well, like I said, it's a smokescreen, and even if the trial date is something like February 3rd, 2025, it will have done its job. It never has to come to trial.
No.
You know, but it will have done its job publicity wise.
Right.
It will have smeared his name. And that's what the important thing is.
Because there are the MAGA who believe, they believe it all. And there are even some moderate Republicans who don't read the newspaper and can't.
Oh, no, you were right the first time. I don't think they can read. So.
Well, and it's Trump, the Trump underlying this whole thing. He's the one that's pushing it and having the House look into all these things and impeach Biden. You know, it doesn't matter if he's ever gets
wars going on. We've got people in humanitarian situations we need to heal and help, and they're going after the president.
They're going after somebody for taxes that they already paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Trump's tax.
It doesn't make any sense.
Do you believe this shit?
They can fine.
No, it blows my mind. Okay.
They can fine him for late payments, fine him for this and fine him for that, but they really don't have a case at all.
They don't.
So,
who goes to court for this crap? Nobody. But what I wonder what stage this case is in. I mean, maybe the court hasn't actually accepted it, because they can reject it. They can look at it and go, that's not a case.
They say it passed the grand jury.
Really? What the hell did they? Oh, God.
That's why I got indicted.
It had to be, but when you do the grand jury, it's just the prosecutors. There's no argument against any of their so-called arguments, right? There's nobody pushing back at all. It's just presenting a bunch of their so-called evidence. So, the grand jury is not a big test. Oh, it just makes me so angry. It's just like, oh God, it's just so mad.
But it's California.
Exactly.
That's a little head scratcher because that's so democratic.
I think there's a lot of Republicans too in California. Remember what a big state it is. It's a huge state.
I'm from California. My parents were Republican, and of course I was always Democrat.
Yeah, and do you think it's a coincidence that it's California? No, I think it's very specifically California.
Yeah.
Well, but the difference is, like in Washington State, the western Washington state is totally Democrat. The eastern part of the state is totally Republican. So, but there's not that many people in the eastern side. We got a lot more people on the western side. So, yeah, it's the same kind of thing in California. Yeah, there's a lot of Republicans, but they're spread out in the main areas. What's that?
They're in pockets.
Yeah.
Pockets. Yeah. Yeah. They are.
Sorry, I have to respond. My daughter's bringing her dog tomorrow at 8 a.m. She just tried to call me. I know. She just wants to remind me because she thinks I forgot.
Well, you do have
And
CRM.
did you forget?
No. It's just a busy weekend. It's just a lot going on. Oh my God. Okay. So, that was good. That made my blood pressure come down there.
I still feel Hunter's going to, it's tragedy he has to go through all this. It's almost like they want him to get back on drugs.
It is what they want. This is what they've wanted for the last 18 months, 20 months.
That would throw President Biden for a loop if his son had a relapse. And
but it's not going to.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think they found a baggie of white powder in the White House cloakroom? Give me a break.
Come on.
So bad.
That is just pretty lame.
God, it's so bad.
I mean, they couldn't get that one off the ground because nobody bought that one.
No, I mean, yeah, and
the
so
guy that bought the bridge in Brooklyn did.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think something's going to happen so that Hunter prevails in some way. I do.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get through this.
Yeah,
and,
he will.
And if everybody is listening, we need to send everybody prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. Arthur, you're right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Special prayer for Hunter because that's just like torturous.
It is.
It's so mean.
Yeah, it really is.
All right. So another question I had about Biden now, did anyone see the announcement that he forgave almost $5 billion in student debt? I mean, that was there for a nanosecond and then there was no other news about it. So right? That's very cool that he did that. He just slips those in under the radar and I love it. But what do we think the next thing is that sneaky dark Brandon is going to get through?
Money for Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. Right. He's talking to a lot of people.
Great. That would be so great.
He'll do it. It's not like they don't have the money. They do have the money. They don't have the money for us to have Medicare for all, but they have the money for this.
I feel like there will be. I got the baby angel when I asked for, will there be money for Ukraine? Yes. So in some way, they're going to get it through.
What do you think, Cleo?
I think just what Val said. I think exactly that it's going to go through, but it's like pulling teeth to get there. It's just ridiculous. You're wasting way too much time. Ukraine needs it right now.
Yeah,
but that's how I feel Biden's going to get something in without them knowing it until it happens.
Well, Mikey Mike is getting a lot of shit from his colleagues because he's starting to make noises like he'd be amenable to that. Let me read what I have.
But Kevin McCarthy,
he made the
they're willing to do some things. Yeah, exactly. Because you get in that position and you want to actually do something.
Yeah.
He thinks he Moses.
Yeah. Okay, where did this go? I know that I pulled this out. Oh, did I not pull this out? I'll have to go to the actual New York Times. I thought this was great.
While you're working on that, Gerald Tarot Stash said that this program is going through my simulcasting to my channel. Thanks for pointing that out, Gerald.
Everyone go to Cleo the Seer's channel and watch this on her channel so that she can get watch hours.
Yeah.
And she can get it up. So when she gets to 500 subscribers, she'll be able to partially monetize. So
Sure.
Yeah, good. Okay. So here's the thing. It says defense bill agreement angers hard right, posing a threat to Johnson. The new Republican speaker is facing fury from ultra conservative lawmakers for agreeing to drop limits on abortion, transgender care, and diversity training. The annual defense bill has become entangled in a tumultuous Republican feud in the House as hard right lawmakers revolt over bipartisan agreement to jettison a raft of deeply partisan dictates that would have limited. Now, this is talking about abortion, transgender, and all that other stuff, but that he's starting to make noises like he's going to play ball with them. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if, if I got to get this off my screen. Oh, great. Half my screen is covered up with little pop-ups from StreamYard. But I think that, he's dancing very close to the edge here.
yeah,
And I think
when you were talking about that, this is Johnson. He feels like he has the key and he's supposed to be doing something, but it's a circus and he's going to hit a plateau.
yeah.
But he's really thinking about the self. You know how religious
Yes.
he is.
Yeah, low, he low. Okay. Yeah.
So, but they're going to be out for his blood. So it maybe May or sooner before he's adios.
Well, and the House is saying that they would give money to Ukraine as long as there was either a lot
Build
more
the
money
wall.
or equal amount that goes to the border.
Yeah,
To
they
stop
want-
all these illegal aliens. And I mean,
There's not. I mean, the Republicans couldn't build the wall when they had Congress and Trump,
yeah.
and now they expect
Yeah.
Biden to do it.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too. Okay. So you throw millions, maybe billions of dollars at the border. You don't have a plan for what you're going to do with it. What are you going to do? Have everybody sit on piles of money? I mean,
Is
Exactly.
somebody writing in Russian?
And
yeah, they
I
are.
just want to say the reason why they couldn't build a wall is because the wall went into their pockets for entertainment purposes only. They're carrying it around.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're right. The same person is writing in several different languages. Do I just get rid of them?
Several different languages.
Oh.
I can't
Oh,
translate it.
it's not on my channel. It's on somebody else's channel.
It's not on mine.
I wonder if
can't
it's
tell.
mine.
Maybe it's on Cleo's.
No figures.
Congratulations, you got your first bot.
Great.
And all you have to do, Cleo, after this is you can go in the chat and you can delete.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go to the three dots and just block and
Three
delete that.
dots, block. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. They're not hurting anything, I don't think. I mean,
Well, I don't think anybody can read their writing.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So this brings little Mikey ever closer to the end of his
Yes.
tour of duty.
Correct.
And then very soon he will eclipse Kevin McCarthy as the third shortest term as speaker. Because apparently there was the guy who was one day and then there was somebody else. I don't know. I saw his thing and then Kevin. So
Yeah.
And didn't that go back to like the 1800s sometime?
Yeah, they did. They did. Do you want me to look it up? I can look it up. It was a guy, it was a
No,
guy
no.
that did one day. It was in I think the 18 somethings, like 1860s or something. And then I saw somebody else, and I thought that 1800 guy who was there for one day was the only one, but there was someone else, and then
Mhm.
Kevin McCarthy, because the newsmakers are also tracking this. They also see it as a horse race. Who's going to be the shortest speaker?
It's pretty funny.
It is.
And it really shows that there's a lot of buffoonery going on within
Ton,
Surprise.
ton.
And this is why Nancy Pelosi wears heels.
Yeah. And I was working on my January astrology video, and Uranus is going direct towards the end of January. And I found myself writing about Uranus in Taurus, that because Uranus is a planet that really, really rules computers and networks, internet, outer space, things that are very new, futuristic technology. It also rules chaos and electricity, but chaos and changes, sudden changes, erratic things. I think with it being retrograde in Taurus, which has to do with money and the things we eat and things that come from the earth, but also I think Taurus is a fixed sign. And I think it has caused media to be very stuck in their mode. They're very stuck in this idea that we're going to side with this group and we're just going to say everything negative about that group, you know. And once I think Uranus is no longer retrograde, I think you'll begin to see a kind of coming back to fair and
Instead of being polarized, they're
yeah, a
Balance.
little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. a little bit
balanced,
Yeah.
polarized. Yeah.
Yeah. And and it's going to be just the worst through this whole Mercury retrograde period. Just
Yeah.
terrible. You know, it's going to be really a shit show, you know.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Sure.
So where are we at here? Did we ask a question? I don't know.
I'm so glad that Uranus actually when Uranus is in play, things are polarized or become balanced, which
Uranus would neither polarize or non-polarize. It depends on what signs it is in. What Uranus would do is direct energy towards things like social media, the internet, outer space, things going out over the airwaves, because it rules big weather with the air that's very high up, right? But it rules and brings chaos, eccentricity, volcanoes, hurricanes, monsoons, you know, just big, huge things. Uranus is a huge, big planet. So when it connects with other planets, it causes big things on our planet, like big weather, big natural disasters. But it does have this connection to technology, and our technology goes out to millions of people. So that's also big, right? So having it in the sign of Taurus, Taurus is a fixed sign. They have a tendency to be very considerate about things. They're, you know, people like to think of them as slow. They're not slow. They're actually very methodical, very methodical, very persistent, long lasting, you know, very earthy, salt of the earth kind of things that we think about, but fixed, stubborn, opposite, don't want to change. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me you're right. And don't try to convince me of anything else. I made up my mind 20 years ago and it's not changing. You know, it's that kind of thinking. And so I think that media kind of grabbed on to some very negative, very fixed ideas, very rigid ideas. And in the retrograde, it just gave them kind of permission to roll with it. Whereas when it gets out of the retrograde, now the new can come up. Now new technology. You watch, when it goes out of retrograde, we're going to get a big boost of information about AI. We're going to get a big change to information about the food prices, about the gas prices, about the supply chain issues, all of those things. We're going to start hearing, oh, it really wasn't that way 6 months ago. We were just following along with what they said in the news. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, they came out with a report today showing what's going down. Gas prices, and eggs, all the staples.
Right. Wow. And yet they'll still many newscasters will say that that it hasn't gone down at all. So yeah,
that's interesting. I'm waiting for that. I can't wait.
Well, it takes time. You can't expect you know, I've heard so many people like, well, no, Biden hasn't done anything. And the problem is all the prices are still high. And in some cases they go higher. That is because it's got to go through this whole chain of the whole food
chain of the players.
But it's also green.
It's going to take some time. It'll happen, and I think you'll see a big improvement next year.
And what he said, it's also greed. They're also keeping the prices inflated.
Well, they're willing to pay for it now. Why should we lower our prices?
Right.
Say again, what was that?
They're paying for it now, so why should we lower our prices?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Right.
Except gas at one point, when everything went nuts, it was $6.99. Now it's $5.39.
Wow.
That is a lot lower.
Yeah.
It's a lot lower. Yeah.
It's still high, but it's a lot lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's just absolutely crazy.
It is.
All right. So what do we got on here? What do we got? Oh, can I ask my very dark question now?
Yes.
All right, you guys. What happens if Trump dies in the middle of one of his court cases?
ticker tape parades,
Will,
celebrations,
well, here's what I want to kind of explore.
tsunami of joy.
And you can all just pick one of these to explore.
And no, I don't mean it, we shouldn't wish somebody dead.
No,
Maybe.
no, of course not. But everybody can do a different one of these if you want to. My question is, if he dies, will the cases continue? For instance, the E. Jean Carroll 2 and 3 damages cases, do they continue? Will Letitia James' case continue to try to recoup damages from Trump Oregon? Will Fani Willis continue to press charges on Trump posthumously? Obviously, she'll keep, on with the other co-conspirators, but will she try to prosecute him posthumously? Will Aileen Cannon flee to Saudi Arabia and try to marry the prince? I mean, these are the things that we have to answer about Trump's demise. And last but not least, what will the Republican Party do for a candidate? I think we already answered that one, but
Well,
Can you see him in the rotunda?
I'm sorry.
Can you see him in the rotunda in state? I don't.
No. I think more like a shopping mall in Florida.
that's
Bowling alley.
Linda G.
A Piggly Wiggly.
In state in Mar-a-Lago. I mean, that would be the most appropriate.
Well, yeah, but they don't really take a class.
Coffin in a mall so that people could walk by, but nobody did. They were all walking past him.
Well,
It just fills the
if he dies before they take away all of his business certificates in New York, he could lay in state in one of the Trump towers.
Well, true.
But
But I would see him, because if he were to go, the fraud case would still go on because his sons are involved. A lot of people involved.
Mhm.
Well, and then E. Jean Carroll would still go on too, don't you think?
Yeah,
Arthur?
because that's just, it's not about if he's guilty. The E. Jean Carroll is about how much
So his estate, right? His
you have to
estate
pay her.
would pay.
Yeah,
Correct. So it would continue because
Yeah.
it's about that, right?
yeah, that's right.
well, they'd have to continue it to show exactly what happened. And although Trump would be gone and he wouldn't be getting to go to prison like we all enjoyed thinking about that, but they
So much of the
no, they
jump
have to go through the motions and go through and explain to everybody this is what was done illegally, this is what the crime was, this is what would have happened. And you're right, there's so many other people on the like the sons and all these other lawyers and stuff that are involved. All those people would still have to pay the price.
Now, what about Jack Smith's case about January 6th that's solely directed at Trump?
He's got a lot of lawyers also that are in trouble. Not just lawyers, a lot of people that are in trouble that backed him up and perpetuated the lie, like Giuliani.
They're not indicted. They're not indicted by Jack Smith.
but they're
Only
unnamed
Trump.
co-conspirators.
Yeah, they're unknown. So Jack Smith would have to indict all of them first.
Mhm.
So the case that's actually against Trump, what would happen to that? I agree with you. I think for history,
I'm not a
think
lawyer. I don't know.
posterity, I think we need to know. I think we need to.
Well,
we need to.
I got destiny, so to me that means it goes on.
It goes on. Yeah.
And the truth is revealed. There's a sun.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
we
because
need to
in
work out the-
absentia, I mean, they would have to continue it because it is a crime against the United States of America, and that has to be settled,
And that's
regardless of
that's
whether,
each one of us.
yes, in front
Both
of
of them.
us. So yeah, he would be.
On PoliTarology. That's what I want. I want the whole case to be aired on PoliTarology.
Yes.
I would watch it on
Could you imagine
PoliTarology.
somebody sneaking up to get his picture, like they did with Elvis in National Enquirer. Oh, God help us.
Oh, God help us indeed.
However, I don't see that happening. I don't see Donald Trump dying anytime soon. I know that you and a few other people do, but I just don't see it.
Unless, well, there's a death there. Maybe it's just his brain.
Well, this is what I pulled. The universe, a fire's lit under it, but here's the Grim Reaper. Here's the bulldozer that's like gonna push his body wherever they store him.
In the freezer.
Next to Ivana in the weeds.
In the hole.
Well, that does bring up another question. So he doesn't die actually, but he's non-compos mentis. He's unable to even answer questions. I mean, what if he had some kind of a mental breakdown and also something like a stroke, like maybe he lost his ability to speak or lost the use of his legs or his arm or something like that. I
Well,
mean,
that's another way to look at it as far as a death is concerned.
Yeah, he's sitting in a wheelchair, peeing himself, looking at the wall.
would they bring him to court?
I don't think they would bring him to court, and I don't think he's necessary to the court and the jurors hearing.
He's already done
Trump's lawyers and Jack and his side presenting the case. I think it would go on quite well without his rhetoric. They have a solid case.
Probably better without his rhetoric.
Probably better without it.
Oh my God, Joe Tacopina would just, be throwing up the confetti. He would be so relieved. That poor guy. I mean, I don't like him, but I gotta admit, God, he's got a heart.
That was the lawyer for E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he was. Oh well,
Awful.
Trump just threw him under the bus today.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He did. He actually did. And you know what? Who else would be really joyful is all the people who have been doxxed and outed and put, made bad comments about in social media. All of that would stop, and that would be wild. That would be wild.
I'm still feeling, though, within the next 2 years, there's going to be some type of law in the books about doxing, where it's very similar to stalking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there should be.
There
It should be so that they can prove it in court without having to go through a million hoops.
It shouldn't be this hard to.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But if something happens to Trump, the conspiracy theories are going to explode.
I just hope it happens in public. I just hope it happens in front of people.
Yeah, because they're gonna. Well, and if let's say he fell over from a heart attack, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, the DOJ secretly sent people in to kill him," and I mean, it's gonna be
just like they did with Cleo.
It's so bizarre, so bizarre.
But I tell you, whenever something does happen, you better have your eyes peeled on the news for 24 hours because it's going to be scrubbed clean. Nobody will see it after the first airing. They're going to take everything down because it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous because it will inflame the country that are MAGAs. It will inflame them to act. So they're going to have to clamp that down like I don't know what.
Yeah. You're right about that.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad.
Well, this is why when Putin dies, Russia's not going to say anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thing.
They're going to be dancing in the street so hard. It might put holes in the street.
More than when Biden won. They're going to
more than even when Biden won.
Yeah.
And could you see Trump now, though, if he was lying? I had more people at my funeral than anybody else.
There will be psychics on YouTube who say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there is a whole other world of YouTube psychics that are really MAGA fueled.
I've seen them, and they're scary.
They're scary. I know.
I talked to Jesus last night, and he told me.
Yeah.
I watched the chick, I think her name's Jenny from England, and I think she usually records in black and white. And she holds up a little sphere and looks at it and squints her eye. And then she blabs all this stuff. And at first I thought, oh, she's so interesting. Isn't that interesting? She leaves her crystal ball out in the garden to get sunlight in the day. She had all these cool little things. And she's got this, a wolf totem. I mean, she just had all this stuff going on. And then when she started really spouting off about MAGA and Trump, and I'm like, you're in England. Why do you think this guy is good? Boris
I think I know who you're talking about because I think I've seen her. And,
lots of dark makeup.
Clip channel.
I mean, Jean used to pick up her crystal ball and read it, but
that's probably what we got it.
It isn't about that. It's about what crapolium comes out of her mouth. And like what? What planet is she on?
Theater of the absurd.
Yeah, I mean, a
Too.
lot of people can see when they scry into a crystal, they
Yeah.
really can not maybe
Yeah.
not really visualize pictures, but but it helps them. It's their focal point.
Sure.
It's what
I always see Auntie for some reason.
Scrying is definitely a really good way to look at things, but
Mhm.
she just spews stuff that's like
Yeah.
outrageous.
Garbage.
And I'm just wondering what kind of plant medicine is she on? 'Cause that's good stuff, you know.
It's got to be some hardy stuff.
No, but
Ooh,
there's a lot of mega psychics out there that just scare the crap out of me.
yeah. I
Well, the
mean,
magas in general scare the crap out of me
Well,
because
they have more subscribers than I do, so.
I do think that it's worth just
But knowing
giving.
who your enemies are.
What's that?
Know who your enemies are.
Yeah.
mm,
But I do think it's worth thinking about. It isn't just about if I mean obviously Trump is not going to be president. I think it's obvious. And obviously he's got some mental issues and that's probably going to lead to his head exploding at some point. But
And Mr. Magoo could see this.
but when that happens, yes, we're all going to be like, "Phew, okay, that saga's over." It's not
it's
over.
true.
It's
Yeah.
not over.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
all of his MAGA followers are going to
Mhm.
have to go through withdrawals.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't know what they're going to go through, but
They might actually go, "Oh, thank God we don't have to worship him anymore."
No, they got to be deprogrammed. They have
they
to
got to
be.
be, yeah,
Like
they
a cult.
do. And there's going to be a few that are go crazy. You know, there's going to be a few that are just like,
Yeah.
you know, grab their AK-47s and just go shoot up a town. I mean, they're
Probably.
Well,
gonna do stuff.
it's like the lady today that was going to try and burn down Martin Luther King's house, family house.
Today?
What?
Oh,
Oh
God.
my gosh.
And you know, it's people onlookers like stopped her.
Yeah.
She
Oh
wanted to
my.
burn down his house.
Jeez.
And onlookers.
That's a wacko, a wackadoodle.
Yeah, the more we go into this decade, the more it feels to me like what I've always read about Weimar Germany.
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
so like, ugh, okay, you got to say something. We
Mhm.
cannot be just standing by and going,
You
"Oh, I
can't
don't know, I
stand
don't know."
by if something is in front of you of that magnitude. You have to take action.
Yeah, you really do.
You really
You
do.
really do. Ugh. Oh. So I got to schedule that show that I'm going to do, Visualizing the Better World. I got to get that scheduled.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll bring the pot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Arthur. That means so much to me.
I know. Well, it's better than popcorn. Well, you just
Well-
get the munchies, then I'll bring the popcorn.
Yeah, and Gary's getting so expensive. It's just okay. So here's a fun one. Well, I'll use this one for the last one. Okay, as more fake electors face charges, a key witness emerges. Kenneth Chesbrough, an architect of the plan to deploy people claiming to be Trump electors in states won by President Biden, is cooperating with inquiries in Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada. 24 of the so-called fake Trump electors now face criminal charges in 3 different states. And one of the legal architects of the plan to deploy them, Kenneth Chesbrough, has emerged as a witness in all of the cases. Okay, so how better to put a target on your back? Stand next to Kenneth Chesbrough.
For sure, for real.
So the question is either how long do we see him staying alive, or what do we think the outcome will be for some of these cases for the fake electors? And YouTube, just take a beat, okay? Entertainment purposes only. Clearly, I do not intend harm to Mr. Chesbrough or Trump or anybody or Mitch McConnell, whatever.
I do.
Oh,
Just kidding.
YouTube,
Just
take note.
kidding.
YouTube, take note. Arthur actually does. Okay. there we go.
No. Here,
Tell
I
me-
will say
tell me
it.
what
I will
you got.
say it after saying that.
Tell me what y'all are thinking about that, Mr. Chesbrough. I mean, it did get him out of Georgia,
Mhm.
right? Got him
Yeah.
out of Georgia, a little vacay from Georgia for a while.
I don't think this is going to happen. You know, the world, he's got the world. It's, you know, it's over before it starts. That's what I get. Over before it starts.
Well, what would be the what would be the punishment for these people? Do they go to jail? Do they go to prison? Do they pay fines? What,
Well,
anybody know?
I do have the King of Swords here, and he's got little demon here that he's collected. So they're going to have some comeuppance of some kind. But I feel like they've got some more deals they're making behind the closed doors.
Oh, so they will turn state's evidence in order to get leniency, just
Could
like
be.
in Georgia.
All
Which
of-
I
all of
think
them.
we should, before New Year's, we should be hearing from at least 4 more people.
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Yeah. Well, Arthur, what do you think? Oh, I'm sorry, Val, were you done?
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
done.
okay, okay. Arthur,
Well,
what do
no,
you think?
I agree that because there's other, it's not just these 3 states. There's other states
Yeah,
we're going to be following.
I think there were
And-
12, right? 12 or 14 states, 12 states.
But the thing is, when these fake electors from other states start seeing what's happening in Nevada and everywhere else, it's like, hi, I'm a fake elector. Can I talk to you, please? And they're just gonna, like make a run for the door to
Yeah.
whomever,
Yeah.
and and sit down and say, okay, this is what happened and who did what and da 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 da. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel there will be convictions.
Mhm.
They may not do time, but it's like on their school record. It's permanent.
What about if they made them, barred them from being any kind of an elector ever in their life,
Well,
or
that could go with the 14th Amendment right there.
holding office? They can't hold office or something like that.
Well,
Or
Even if they tried, that's the 14th Amendment.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
think too. Yeah, very interesting, because I do think just just like Congress, they're going to have a lot of people running for the door saying, "Ooh, me, I did it, I confess," and
Yeah.
trying to get something for it. Cleo, what do you think?
I don't really have an opinion on this too much. I feel like what you guys are saying is probably what's going to happen. I just haven't really kept up on this cheese bro guy.
Yeah,
I'm just, I don't have much knowledge in that area.
They're
Harvard
playing
trained.
calculated chess. They're just, figuring out their moves, and this was just one of them. They have different plays and different players in place. It's a strategy. There's levels of strategies that they're doing.
Interesting. I wonder whose idea it was for Kenneth Chesbrough to do this.
Mm.
That was what's his name? Jeffrey Clark.
He
Was involved
suggested that
I
Cheese
believe
Brew
so.
should testify.
Entertainment purposes only. I'm retarded, so I don't know what I'm saying, but that's mentally challenged. Sorry, PC.
And they listened to Jeffrey Clark. They didn't think there was something a little
Well,
odd about
the thing
that.
is, though, Chesbrough said he was just writing stuff down, like what ifs,
Yeah.
and then they followed through with it.
Yes. You're probably not wrong, Arthur, about that. Yeah.
But didn't he have to change his story when he had to confess everything and get his plea deal and everything? You have to confess to everything. You have to tell the truth on everything. And
You
they
do.
already had corroborating testimony from other sources,
Yeah.
so they would know if he was not telling the truth.
Correct.
So I don't know. I'm wondering if he suggested it after maybe hearing from Mr. Clark,
Mhm.
or if
Well, whatever it is, they're all in deep doo doo.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I can imagine that the other states are probably reaching out to Fani Willis because she's really masterminded. This is the way you do it.
She
You know?
She wrote the playbook.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
she did.
the thing is, she has that amazing RICO statute in Georgia to work with. The other states may not have that. But
Oh, is that right? I thought that
oh,
would
yeah.
be.
It's a state. This is why it's so key that Trump and all the other ones get tried in Georgia. It's so beautiful
Yes.
that that's
Yeah.
where they did
State,
all those
not
stupid
federal.
phone calls. It's so beautiful. Yeah, not federal because he could get pardoned.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. They have the toughest RICO
Mhm.
statute, I think, in the
Mhm.
land. And, there may be other states that come close, but it is not the same RICO statute as in New York.
Wow.
New York, it
Wow.
would not work the
Good
same
to
way.
know.
And so I'm just curious of, how much Fani Willis has spoken or been contacted by these other DAs. I bet she has.
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
To get a heads up on
Yes.
the strategy and the playbook about that and how to work with this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they gained a lot of knowledge about that, besides probably sharing some details
Yeah.
about the cases.
And I
we
could just
talked-
hear,
we talked about that on other shows too, that totally that there's been a connection with all these people,
Yeah.
because why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Right?
You know,
and
But if-
you can just imagine the conversation that Fonnie Willis is saying, God, it's too bad you couldn't talk to Mr. Chesbro. He spilled the beans on all that crap. And then they said, oh, could we please? And then, I mean, yeah, Jeffrey Clark, he doesn't, maybe he said something after the fact to make himself look smart. Oh yeah, I said that.
Yeah, he's
Take it.
kind of a, yes, exactly. He was in a place at the right time and just ended up in a position, and he's like the postal clerk. He was the postal clerk kind of attorney. He doesn't even belong.
He's an environmental
Doesn't
attorney.
belong as a general
He doesn't
attorney.
know he's not a constitutional lawyer. He's
They're
not, even,
hoping-
he's not even a criminal lawyer.
But they're
No.
all
It has nothing to
hoping.
do with government. He's an environmental lawyer. So if you got an oil spill, he's your guy. But
But-
other than that, no.
No.
But what I'm going to inject here is they all probably believe that Trump is going to be reelected, and that way they'll all get cabinet positions.
Except
No.
for Chesbrough and Powell and Ellis. I mean, they're
Well,
not gonna-
them, but
Mhm.
but he denied even knowing them, basically. So
Oh God! And isn't it a kicker that the smartest one of the bunch is the bail bondsman?
Oh my God,
Came
that
forward first,
that was a scary thought right there.
right?
there.
Yeah, he was the
Okay.
genius who said, "I can't work anymore if I get convicted of this. I'm pulling out."
did you hear what Chris Christie said?
No,
If Trump were indicted, he would not be able to vote for himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
He would not be able to vote
if he's convicted.
if
Yeah.
convicted.
Yeah.
man, that's-
Well, that would be a good thing.
that would be a
really-
sweet moment. in
Yeah, it
time.
would be. It would be a sweet moment. All right, let me see here. I think I got my last question here. Now,
I want a mail-in ballot.
this is kind of funny. So, I'm getting these out of the New York Times. So, before I do this one, let me just take a look at my star, because some of these ones I just didn't know. Let's see. Texas. We got a lot of people from Texas here. Ethics Committee on Mount Gate. I'm gonna hold off on these questions just because it's gonna take us down a rabbit hole that we could talk about for hours.
Mm.
So I'm gonna hang on to these questions. We're almost at the end of the time. So I'm very sorry, people in the chat. Excellent questions, but they're too good for us to do right now. Okay. So this one hopefully won't take very much time and we can wrap this up. So the name of this article starts with, "What the heck? CNN's debate plans leave New Hampshire officials confused." The news network said it would host a Republican primary debate in New Hampshire at St. Anselm College. That was news to St. Anselm College. There is, however, a competing debate scheduled to take place 3 days earlier, hosted by CNN's rivals at ABC News. The ABC debate on January 18th is set to be held at St. Anselm, and it has the approval of both the college and state Republican officials. "We've been working for months planning with ABC," Mr. Ager said. Apparently he's from the college. "We've already done a run-through of the facility. We've agreed on a lot of details." So what the heck is CNN talking about here? What was their game plan? They announced it in the New York Times.
That's pretty weird.
Isn't that weird? I mean,
Yeah.
they have their own show, their own network, like they have news shows. They could have said something there, but they put it in the New York Times. And P.S., it isn't true. So
If they say it, maybe it'll happen.
it's a very Trumpian thing to do, isn't it? Yeah.
There's some inside agreement that they made with somebody else at the college or university, and they think they're going to get in there and be able to work something out. they have some kind of a deal. Pardon these naughty cards, but is the Lover's card. That's an agreement that they have, and it looks like they're going to get some flack from it, but they secretly are celebrating because they think they're going to actually get in there.
It's just weird.
And what I have is the Four of Wands. Somebody inside is getting money to put them in there, but they hadn't put it through the works yet. So before they announced it, there's something internally with that college or university, whatever it is. Yes, somebody was doing a deal to get them in there. But they hadn't.
Are they talking about more GOP debates? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, something about some other.
That
it's almost like another layer or level of different players, and I can't quite ferret that out in my mind.
DeSantis has said that he wants to debate Nikki Haley one-on-one.
Something like that. It's something additional, something specific like that. I'm not going to say it's one of those Newsom DeSantis deals, but I mean.
But DeSantis feels like he did that thing with Newsom, and it kind of bolstered.
It ate him up, didn't it?
Yeah.
On the last show, I said, "Here's a clip of it," and I had an old clip of Julia Child going, "And here's the cooked goose."
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, yeah, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. What about the candidates who are supposed to be in this debate? If the college doesn't know when it is, and it's a different date than the ABC one, how are they supposed to qualify for being on the stage of the debate?
It's really true. You're absolutely
in January. It's already December, so
there's something fishy. Somebody was paid under the table for some things that didn't happen.
Where is Chris Cuomo when you need him?
In the basement with COVID.
With his mom. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I dropped a bunch of my cards, so I can't pull cards on this. Anybody else have anything to say about this?
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
It's a Mercury retrograde before retrograde moment.
Yeah. Just crazy. I don't get it. So there were a bunch of questions from people about all sorts of different state things, and I'm sorry we didn't get to them, but I will mark them down and we'll try to get to them. We're doing another show on Sunday, so I'll try to put those questions in on Sunday. But I just want to say, this was really fun. This was a really, really fun show. Not only because I have a fun background, but because
and I love the graphics too. They're beautiful.
Thank you. But it's fun to be with you guys. This was a nice group. Fun. And what an amazing group of people in the chat. I mean,
yes.
Wow, you guys just have you're talking to each other, and it's so great. It's so great. Thank you so much for joining us. And would anybody like to say anything before we sign off? Is there anything you want to tell the people, the nice people in the chat?
Just you guys are super chatters. Just like
thanks for your questions that didn't get answered, but hopefully will get answered one day. But no, I really appreciate these people showing up and their input, and they're just they're very knowledgeable, over on the chat. So
they are.
I always say we wouldn't be here without
the people in the chat.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
And go to Cleo the Seer's channel, like and subscribe, watch the video in its entirety so she can get those watch hours. So that when she gets to 500 viewers, she has 4,000 watch hours. Thank you for helping her. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Val. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, everybody. That takes the cake. That's it for PoliTarology on this beautiful evening. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Thank you to the three of you for indulging me. This is always my favorite thing to do on a Friday night. And to the chatters, you are the best chatters, and I really am just ashamed of myself that I abuse you so much. But
But they keep coming back.
but clearly you love it because you keep coming back. There we go. All right. Okay, so we're going to say bye, everybody, and we will see you next
Bye-bye.
time.
Bye-bye.
Oh, where's my little video? Hang on. I'm determined to get that in there. There we go.